Howdy doody. Today we are doing something stupid. I'm on my way to pick up a skid steer, which is great, except the fact that it does not run. And I will get into it later, but the odds of this skid steer running are low. But we got a good deal on it, so let's go pick it up.
From Harbor Freight, man. Any Badlands?
Oh, I need one. I know I do.
Dude, they're under $400.
Yeah, and then you can buy the program or whatever.
You get the Apex. You can either get the steel cable or the rope.
There she is. I'm gonna let it sit here for now, and then I'm gonna come back later to get this thing off the trailer. So we'll see. I do have actual wheel chocks, but these brick pavers will do. They'll do just fine. Oop. That's funny. Looks like I was a little light in the tail, which I kind of felt when I was driving home. I was getting a little bit of trailer sway, but that's okay. She rode fine enough. Huh. It's actually funny. It's like with the ramps down, it's weighed perfectly centered, so we'll leave it. I'll be back to get this thing off later. I'm back. It's a little bit colder this afternoon than it was this morning, which kind of sucks, but hey, let's dive right back in. I'm going to move this truck back. I'm going to grab the tractor and we'll pull this thing off the trailer and put it back here in the yard somewhere. Could have unplugged the block heater, but you didn't see that, right? Think the Cub Cadet's gonna start? I do. Let's see. A little rough. Almost got a wet butt. That's never fun. Let that warm up for a second. Brand new seat cushion. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Here's the plan. I've got a ratchet strap kind of holding the bucket up a little bit because that's dragging. Obviously, we can't start this thing, so I can't just drive it off, and I can't lift the bucket. So I got the little Cub Cadet tractor here. If that's not enough to pull it off, I'll grab my truck, but I don't want to grab my truck. It's a really tight fit in my driveway here. So kind of would rather do it with this little thing. So we'll see if it's got enough in it. And if it doesn't, then we'll move on from there. Not quite enough roll, but I'll grab the truck and we'll pull it that way. I'm just hoping I can get it back there. We'll see. All right. A lot going on here, and it's tight.
Tight like a tiger.
So let's get to it. Let's see. Yeah, I got news for you. There is no way that Cub Cadet was going to do that. I figured it was going to roll a lot easier than that. I guess not. Well, I'm gonna finish adjusting this where I want it, but hey, it's back here. That's all that matters. Oh man, what a mess. Tomorrow morning, I'll go through, take you guys through this thing, what it is, what's wrong with it, what the plans are, and then we'll go from there. Ready, break. Well. I've been having a very productive day. Started out not so productive, but I'm working on the F550, which, yes, is still in my driveway if you've been following along with that. If you haven't, click the info card box so you can catch up. Anyway, figured out why this thing wasn't starting, which was a weight off my shoulders. That was annoying. Going to be working on this trailer back here, which you saw me bring the skid steer in on. Building some new ramps for that, or adjusting the ramps, I should say. But more importantly, I finally got the old case skid steer sitting pretty where she's going to be, unfortunately for my wife, for the next, well, the unforeseeable future. Not exactly sure how long this one's going to take. Okay, so
here's the earth.
here's my skid steer. We finally got it back where it needs to be. What a bear. It was not easy to move at all. I ended up getting it back here with a come along and a chain. I pulled my truck back here and just had to keep cranking on it. But here we are. So this is a Case 1835C, which stands for Cummins. Not really. It is a diesel, but it has a Continental TDM 20, I believe it's called. I don't know much about it. We'll get into that. But they made these in the late 80s, mid 90s. I think they might still make this model today, but this specific body style, if you will, to my knowledge, was from like 87 to 96 or something like that. But I picked it up for $1,800. Story goes, this motor is locked up. I guess they put a new injection pump on it because they were having problems with fuel delivery. Had it running for a while, started burning coolant, had gasket failure, and then they let it sit and it froze up on them. So the engine is not rotating. I know there's at least a blown head gasket, and there's fuel delivery issues and cooling issues. So This one's gonna be fun for me. But it was $1,800, which if I can get this thing running, it'll sell for $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 every day. So my intentions are to use it. I've always wanted and needed a skid steer. They come in real handy. I'd like a bobcat just because they're a little more versatile with like marketplace parts and quick attachment buckets and forks and stuff. But this will at least get me in the game. If all else fails, I can always sell it and probably get my money back, maybe even a little bit more, just depending on who has a power plant for it. Worst case scenario with this shindig here is I have a cracked cylinder head. And the reason I say worst case scenario is parts for this motor are unobtainium. Just horrible selection online for parts. There's a lot of directions that this thing can go. But it is a cast iron head, I believe, so I'm hoping if there is a crack, it's repairable by plugging, cast iron plugging, which would be a fun video to do. I've never done that before. I've seen it done a few times. But yeah, I'm rambling. Give you a little walk around here. She's a little rough, but honestly, for the age, not bad at all. The seat's sitting over yonder somewhere. Got some parts sitting in here. I believe that there are no foot controls. It's just in the levers. Got a pretty solid cab, just like everything else. I mean, not too shabby. Hydraulic cylinders, both of these front ones definitely leaking. So we'll see if we can address that later. Pretty solid rubber. Supposedly they had this thing when they were running it. They got it all aligned. That's a common problem with skid steers, is you can get a misalignment with your drive motors where your right and left side, as you're just kind of sitting in neutral, you can get your drive motors to walk unintentionally. So supposedly they got all that worked out. Small peanuts for the project, but every little bit helps, so I'm not going to complain about that. Instrument panel up here in the corner. Wiring doesn't look too bad. There's a little bit of spaghetti up there, but not too shabby. All in all, in solid shape. Has a nice bucket on it. Good solid steel there. American made, I believe. Back when steel was American steel and good steel. So solid little rig. I'll pop this back door open maybe somehow. Please open for me. Help me understand. Open sesame. Not sure. There we go. Is that it? Hello? What is going on here? There we go. Oh, hey. That's probably why. A little screwdriver in the way. Free utensils. Anyway, I'll have to, when I end up getting into here, I'll have to take out the radiator. Looks like hydraulic cooler maybe. Again, first rodeo with my own skid steer here. I've ran them quite a bit, but never owned one, never really worked on one much. So, should be fun. There will be future videos on this, but kind of step-by-step process is disassembly. Got to get that head off, see what the locked up situation is, how bad that is, drown it in all sorts of schmutz and Marvel mystery oil and whatever I got in there. That's the plan there. See if I can free the pistons up. Gonna have to inspect the cylinder head, see if it's cracked. Hopefully, all my fingers crossed, hopefully it's not cracked, but if it is, I hope it's in a spot that I can actually get to and remedy the situation. Anyway, that's that. My new Case 1835C. Cummins. No. Continental. Maybe that's what it is. No, can't be, because they made other 1835Cs without Continental in it. Anyway, this will probably close a lot better now without that screwdriver sitting there. Maybe. Ah, I see. Oh yeah, dandy. Yeah, other than that, there will be future videos on this thing other than the engine itself. Definitely going to need to repack the front cylinders. Those are slightly leaking. I'll get a sheet of plywood under there, protect the environment. It might not be bad enough where I do anything with it, but we'll look at it. You know, it depends on how far I get. If I get this thing running, then next step would definitely be repacking those cylinders. These cylinders here aren't leaking, but not sure they're supposed to have that much slop in them, so can't say that would be on the radar. You know, if I'm making this thing perfect and restoring it, then sure, I'd get those nice and tight, but probably not gonna happen to this old girl. Tires look good, rubber looks good. Like I said, solid structure, seat is in decent shape. I'll probably reupholster the bottom cushion, but that's it. And we'll get this thing up and running. I'll take you guys along for the process. It should be a fun one. I'm sure it's also going to be a huge headache. So we'll just go step by step, see how far we can get. Worst case scenario, we throw it up on the marketplace and get rid of it. So I will keep you posted. Believe you me. So if you want to follow along in the process and support me while doing so, we're coming out with videos every week, so do me a favor, like, share, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, don't be afraid to grab that wrench and get after it. See you next time.